In my head, I'm like, just throw it. I'm not hitting home runs.
Mookie, you sound like a bum saying that. Why don't you just take it on the chin and just fucking say I'm terrible at hitting home runs? I'm not a home run derby guy.
Does not have a home run this year.
Does not have a home run this year. There it goes. See ya. Immediate home run. He gets to chill and not get double teamed anymore. Brad, you've been chilling for the last 4 years, brother. You haven't done squats. I haven't seen you try on a defensive possession in years. Is Ricky Fowler back?
He is back. This is not a fluke. I mean, the guy has been just fucking automatic this entire year. He is one of the best 10 golfers on earth right now.
The Mets, man. You have a lineup that's absolutely stacked. From the bench to the starters, you have depth, you have power, you got contact, you got veterans, you got young guys. You know what they don't have, Chad? They don't have...
Just waking up in the morning, gotta thank God. I don't know, but today seems kind of odd.
What's going on, ladies and gents? Happy BTL Wednesday, episode 297 piece. Hold the fry, as always, joined by your guys, Krabs and Javon. After that Nats cake last night, how about it?
How about it? At least they still won the game. Huge for the Nats.
Yeah, they still won the game. They're elite. They're better than the Yankees. They're closer to a playoff spot than the Yankees. They're about to give them their 10th straight loss. First time since World War I, Javon. And we'll get to that in a second. Okay? Chat, sweating out this two-piece for the early game starting up right now. We'll go ahead and flash it real quick. Give you guys a sneak peek. Little toothpicks. Okay? Little two-piece. Hold the fry. W. Goots. We got a new producer today. Josh, he's taking more of a role with the We'll Be Seeing pod. If you guys haven't checked that one out, please do on YouTube. I know they're filming today. I think they're dropping a new ep on Friday. It's been fire so far. Make sure you guys give that a listen. Even the old pods are still good and relevant for today. So give those a listen on We'll Be Seeing on YouTube. W's Joshy, he'll still be helping out, but he needs to take more of a role with them. we got our guy Goots. Okay, W new guy, W new face. We got Goots on the back end here helping us out. Let's get some W's in chat for him. And this is the two-piece I'm sweating out for the early game. What could go wrong taking Luis Ortiz less than 2.5 earned runs, Javon?
Yeah, what could go wrong?
What could go wrong? I leaned the under in this game if you guys are looking for some live cheese. Okay, ladies and gents. And then I went Tommy Edman to not strike out. He's been a strikeout king in the series, hoping he does not today. Little two-piece to take the edge off and sweat, Javon. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
Sure. W's. It looks like Cubs and Tigers rain delay. I freaking bet. Bet.
I bet.
Okay. Right is wrong. Is it actually the Yankees and Judge home run tonight? No, it is not. Right is wrong. No, it is not. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We got Bill coming in with his sub bang as well. 14 months. Let's freaking go, Beast. Let's have a day, ladies and gents. And yeah, we're going to need a Goots POD by the end of BTL today. You've got an hour and 20 minutes, Goots. Get in the lap. All right, buddy. Let's roll. Okay, let's move into today. Let's do the L recaps from yesterday, the squad rides. It was always Nats ML, never the team total. That's on us. A lot of Reds yesterday, Javon. A lot of Reds.
Yeah, a little too much. A little too much, but that's what we have today for.
You went 2 for 3 on best bets. W Nats ML, W Pirates ML. Dodgers did not come through. That line was a little fishy. We move. We move, ladies and gents. We'll show you the Abrams clip, though, here real quick. Okay, boys. CJ Abrams is good at baseball. I want that on record. He is good at baseball. He's had 2 errors in the field in his last 50 games after the absolute shit show was to start the season. But you know what? That doesn't matter anymore. He's had 2 over his last 50. He's a beast. He's getting his confidence. And last night, he put the nail in the freaking coffin with this absolute moonshot in the Cooperstown Dreams Park. We'll go ahead and give you guys a peep. That ball was absolutely destroyed, ladies and gents. Absolutely destroyed. Right, hit the lay sign. My goodness. Absolute beast. And we got an Edman strikeout? No fucking way.
God damn it, Grav, man. What are we doing?
You've got to be kidding me.
What are we doing here?
You've got to be kidding me. That slip is already caked. All the hard work I put into that slip, already caked. You've got to be kidding me, dude. Golly. All right, Chad, we're going to need to get in the lab hard today and get some winners. Okay, we need to bounce back. Nats ML last night was free. Good read there, Javon. We took it a little too far on the team total. We got to bounce back today for another squad ride. Okay.
That we do.
Head-to-head lineups. I think we got a couple guys pitching today, Javon. Let's give the people a little update here. Looks like you're absolutely wiping the floor with me so far. Stone Garrett hasn't done squat. Gunnar Henderson has not done enough. You've got Geloff Bonds in there and Mookie Betts who have been dominating. And we both have our starting pitchers going tonight, Javon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do.
How are you feeling about Shohei tonight?
I'm taking, I think, every prop on the board for him pitching-wise.
Really?
Much, but, yeah, I think he dominates. Taking his fantasy score, his Ks, and his under-earned runs. I think he absolutely shoves against the Reds today.
Love it. Love it. Except for the fact that I hate it. I don't. Because that earned run square that they have up on Prize Picks, and we'll get to that in a little bit too. Okay. W's. Javon, what else we got going on, man? What else from yesterday? Anything crazy? W night sweats. Not a lot of bets were hit, but we got some Fortnite wins. So that was good at least.
Yeah, did see that. I guess cap-wise Nick carries, right?
Absolutely carried. Absolutely carried. All right, chat. Let's pivot. Let's talk cheat sheet, okay? Let's get that up on the screen here. We'll have Javon go over his cheat sheet for today. We've got games starting up in about 30 minutes, I believe, but I'm hearing in chat people talking about the Cubs game potentially getting delayed here, so we got some time. Javon, why don't we go ahead and go over the cheat sheet, my man? What do you got? And we'll zoom in here a little bit more for the people.
Yeah, so I mean, guys, for home runs, I'm obviously still targeting Luis Severino, and despite the Nationals, I mean, they're not the biggest home run hitting team. We know that. But I think he's going to get roughed up today, which is why I'm going straight back to runs from their bats. Cards bang.
Unbelievable.
Yes. Same with Kopech. I target him against pretty much every team. And I think he has a piss-poor matchup today again against the Mariners. Then you got some slightly newer guys. I mean, Kyle Mueller's coming back, and he's been in the minors pitching terribly, just like he was when he was up in the majors. So I think the Royals, again, really good matchup for them. Gomber's always here. Taillon's always here. Dean Kramer is now pitching, so he would be on here if that announcement happened before the graphics. So plenty of Turks today, and plenty of guys you can take advantage of it. I always take Adam Frazier something when he's facing Kevin Gausman. I don't know why he sees him so well, but he does. It's a lot of contact points for Adam Frazier, which he does that against a lot of pitchers, but he's definitely a guy that I'm looking at today. And I was with you on Tigers bats, obviously fading Taillon, and Javi Baez is not a bat that I have any problem backing today. So I'm super excited to get into that with him, see if he has a pretty good day. Can move down to the splits-ish section.
Sure.
Yeah, Orioles do eat Gausman. This is another one where, like, Taillon, I think, is going to get rocked. Detroit, they have the guys like at the top of the lineup that have been killing right-handed pitching, but really the lineup overall has been really good. And Taillon is just getting barreled up to ridiculous amounts. It's like I don't think he has a good start today. Reds literally have been printing for almost any strikeout prop against right-handed pitching. They've been K'ing a ridiculous amount lately, which it only goes up when they go on the road outside of Great American Ballpark. And obviously, you know who's on the mound today facing them for game one. So I think he has a little masterclass here, classic little Shohei doubleheader performance. Then Luis Severino targeting him. He's one of those guys who really struggles against any team that does not strike out against righties, which he sucks anyway. Let's make that very clear. But especially against the team who's going to put the ball into play a lot of the time, I am perfectly fine. And that 7.69 ERA with 7 unearned runs is pretty important because in those starts, like you're saying, or like I'm saying, teams are not striking out, so they're putting the ball in play and they're hitting it hard, which is kind of causing those errors to happen. So for the Nationals today, if they put the ball in play, like the Yankees defense is going to be put in really tough spots. So hopefully they're not making base running mistakes every single inning and they can hit them up a little bit. I think they do.
I mean, the Nats got thrown out 3 times last night at second base trying to stretch a single into a double.
Dude, it was the fifth inning.
Insane.
It was the 5th inning, and all 3 outfielders for the Yankees had outfield assists to second base. That's like absurd.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Almost as disgusting as that Yankees line today, and them opening up like minus 170 against the Nats on the 9-game losing streak. That's also disgusting.
Yeah, it's the Yankees. It was the same thing
It's the
yesterday.
Yankees. Damn, Krabs slipped out a full fade in the first inning. Yep, I hope Ortiz gives up 20 runs today, and I hope he gets sent down. I do, because Edwin already caked it. Unbelievable. And yeah, Davey, W's leaving him out there, man. W's trusting your guy last night. Josiah comes through. He does have a little bit of a clutch gene that he's kind of clutched up in spots where we've needed him to really lock in when our offense wasn't there. And he did it again last night. W. Josiah Gray, another great outing. Facing Judge. I mean, that was absolutely free yesterday, ladies and gents. He was never hitting a home run, even at the warning track one where everybody and their mother thought it was a nuke in the park, including myself on stream. Never in doubt. Never in doubt. I'll be honest, Chad. When he hit that, I thought that was like 30 rows back.
I thought that was moosed.
That was insane. We'll take it because, I mean, Carter Keyboom, and let's talk about Keyboom for a second. His first at bat since 2021 in the major leagues, Javon. His last chance to frickin' prove that he's worth being the 20th prospect in baseball at a point in 2020. Okay? He was one of our top prospects. This is his last chance. I swear to God, if he doesn't come through this time, he's done. And what is he doing his first at bat in the majors since 2021? Home run. That was unbelievable. Got to root for that guy. Got to root for that guy.
Locked.
I don't know how much you know ball, Javon, but his older brother used to catch in the league. Spencer Keepin. I don't know if that name rings any bells. He was a Nats backup catcher back in the day. Pretty cool.
Yeah, can't say I have Nats backups in my mind, but somebody asked best way to fade Taillon, and I want to say this because it's probably not going to be up very long. Gary Carpenter, hit run RBI is what I placed.
Ooh. You think it's going to be gone soon?
It's probably going to be gone soon, yeah.
Do we need to lock it in with something right now?
Yeah, let's do it. Make another
should we lock it in with Shohei more than 1.5 earned runs?
No. I will not be doing that personally.
I'll be locking another square you really like already?
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking a strikeouts, so I can put that in.
Dude.
Where's fantasy score?
What about anything non-Shohei related that we could pair with right now?
Why, bro? All right, look.
I'm not backing Shohei today. I think he gets rocked.
I disagree, but even if we're taking the strikeouts, it's not necessarily correlated. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive.
What about the nerfy between Cobb and Lorenzen that's on Prize Picks? Let's pivot. Let's go to Prize Picks real quick, Goots. What about that Lorenzen and Cobb nerfy? We saw Lorenzen get absolutely lit up in his last outing, and Cobb is terrible on the road. They were even talking about it last night in the game, and he wasn't even playing.
I mean, I don't need to put my life in line for a nerfy personally.
Okay. You want to go Shohei strikeouts?
Yeah, I mean, we could make another one too. I put one in. That's the one I put in. But
Okay.
see, I'm going through like the couple slews of bats that I like today.
I'm down to lock it in with Shohei strikeouts if you already placed it. Kerry
Yeah,
Carpenter
that's
more than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, and Shohei more than 7.5 Ks.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Look, he might give up a couple runs and he might still get his strikeouts. And if you're that confident, I'm down to ride. You're the baseball guy. We
There
move.
you go.
W's. Chad, if you're trying to ride that before the Kerry Carpenter square potentially gets taken off, more than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs for Kerry, and more than 7.5 strikeouts for Shohei. Little two-piece. And why do you think it's getting taken off? So people know.
I mean, it was pretty juicy when I last checked it, but it's also a little different of a lineup that I was expecting for this game, which is probably why. So I assume they're going to react pretty soon,
Okay.
depending
Sure.
on the game starts, I guess.
Sure. Okay, W's. Anything else on that cheat sheet you want to touch on before we move into the games today?
No, I think we covered all of it. I think
Okay.
so.
W's. Let's go to Chicago and Detroit. Even if it's going to get postponed or whatever, or delayed, we still need to talk about it here a little bit. I'm going to try to find out on Twitter when they're going to start it up too. But what are your thoughts on this game, Javon? You like scoop ball in this one?
Yeah, and I mean, I can't say like he's in the front of my mind when talking about this game because like the Cubs, they've been regressing a little bit against lefties. They're still super patient, so like if he doesn't have his A stuff and A command, like he could still be in a little bit of trouble. But my main thing is just fading Taillon in this game. I think the Tigers bats are going to jump all over him, similar to how they did yesterday in that game. Probably with a little less weird stuff in the bullpen involved, but I definitely think their bats are going to have a really good day today. So that's what I'm on.
Okay. And we'll get zoomed up here a little bit so you guys can see these plays a little bit better. But yeah, Tigers ML, I'd say that's my favorite play in this game by far. You already talked about that Kerry Carpenter square. Are there any other squares that you want to take back in this Tigers offense today?
No, I mean, all you got up is the
Riley Green.
which I like too, but I don't just want to take or I guess only two, but all the squares on the board technically for this game.
Okay. We'll stick with Kerry. I'm cool with that. Any Cubs, Javon?
To fade?
Sure. You know I'm down to fades. Could
I
fade
mean,
Wisdom.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem fading Wisdom.
Wisdom less than half a TB.
Yeah, I mean, don't have a problem with that.
Okay. Chad, if you're looking for a square in that freaking Cubbies game and you want to fade the Cubbies and back the Tigers, maybe you go Kerry Carpenter more than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Maybe you go Wisdom less than half a TB. How about them apples? I'm going to lock that one in right now.
There we go.
Little same game sweat. If I've ever
Sure.
heard one. And I'm still hurt from that Jake Berger less than half a TB hitting last night. So I'm going to get the coins back with this Wisdom fade. How about that?
Yeah, you might have to. Might have
All right,
to.
Chad, I'm locking that in. All right. Wisdom less than half a TB. Kerry Carpenter more than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. We move. LC called Palacios. Did he already cash? Did Palacios come through, chat?
Palacios Air.
Palacios Air, Lauren, the sharpest one in the group. Unbelievable. She just keeps seeing green.
See it.
Crazy streak. All right, guys, we move. God, you guys are so pissed about that two-piece Prize Picks. You guys craft up a chat two-piece Prize Picks. Take your time. I'll give you the rest of the app. You guys craft up a two-piece on your own. I'll tail it, and then I'll come on and bitch for 30 minutes about it when it doesn't hit tomorrow. Is that a deal? You guys craft one up, I'll tail, and then I'll bitch when it loses?
Let him
All right,
cook.
ready, break.
Let him cook.
Goots, let's zoom in a little bit here on the odds so we can see the teams a little bit more. You might have to go up in your Google Chrome tab and zoom in. There we go. Let's move on to Seattle and Chicago, Javon. Thoughts on the Mariners with Kirby going against the White Sox today?
Ooh, I took this over. I didn't think it was going to be moving up anytime soon. But I like this over 9.5, which, to be honest, a lot of it's just based on the Mariners against Kopech. It really doesn't have all that much to do with Kirby. It's just what the numbers that were on the board. You know, we had the total of 9.5. Mariners team total is at 5.5, so he's backing them to score 6 runs or laying a -1.5 here. I just figured I'd take the over. So I do think Kirby is going to be in a little more trouble than I think people realize. Not enough to put the game in jeopardy, but I think he gives up a couple, and I think the Mariners just jump all over Kopech. I think it's going to be an ugly showing from him, which I guess we've seen quite a bit of it lately. But like Clevenger yesterday, like teams or pitchers who throw fastballs, a lot of them from the right side against the Mariners, just not going well right now. And that's quite literally, it's what Clevenger did, but it's also what Kopech does quite a bit. So I think he gets destroyed today. So I'll be looking to back the Mariners bats in a lot of ways too.
W's. Okay. Back in the bats here for the Mariners, trying to fade the White Sox. Do not hate that one bit, fading Kopech. Any way to do that on Prize Picks today?
Yeah, I mean, I just wouldn't mind squaring up and taking the 2 guys on the board here, honestly. I don't like to do that, but J-Rod is the guy that I will add to my card any single day when he has a really good matchup, and he's coming off of his first semi-calm game in a while, so it's the only reason I'm a little comfortable going back to him, but also that Teoscar bases, which is super green, but it's been pretty indicative when it's been up. I don't mind that. This is just a pretty square spot that I have no problem accepting in this one.
J-Rod more than fantasy score, maybe?
That's all we got. Yeah.
That and Teoscar freaking TVs, man. You go J-Rod, though, probably, right?
Yeah, I'd go J-Rod.
Okay. Any thoughts on that Kirby earned run square at all?
I mean, it's a little strange to see it up against the White Sox, I'll tell you that. I know he's coming off that weird start where we also faded him against the Royals, but he was good for a majority of that start and then just kind of tailed off towards the end. And overall, like, he's been amazing over the past month or so. So that's still, I'm still in like the mindset a little bit of like pre-Royals game. Like if that didn't happen, I think this is a little weird that it's up. So I don't think he's going to be perfect today. I'll tell you that much. Okay. But I think the Mariners
runs.
A lot of runs. Yeah, I think we're going to get runs.
Okay, and you like the over in that game?
Yeah.
Sure. W's. We move. Let's move on to the next one. All right, that game reeks. Let's get a Minnesota and Milwaukee. Much better. Kenta Maeda's in the bump. Chad, we got to put some respect on Kenta. He's kind of been balling, to be honest with you. He's doing his job. He's been pretty good, right? Any chance you want to take a stab on the Twins ML?
I wouldn't hate it, to be honest with you. Like, I think both these pitchers are going to pitch pretty well to a point. I don't want to take the Twins because I think they're going to hit up Corbin Burnes necessarily. I think it's going to be a pitcher's duel for some stretch of the game. But I don't mind saying Kenta Maeda might outduel Corbin Burnes in this game. So I don't mind going to the Twins. I don't love anything in this game, though. Plus, I'm also just so tired of fading the Brewers because they just find ways to win when they really shouldn't. And also, it's a lose-lose for me if I bet against them and they also win. So I'm cool.
Sure. Okay. W's. Any Twin squares, Javon? Might as well take a peek. I definitely lean that way. I don't know if I'm crazy enough to take it myself, but let's at least take a look at some of these squares. I mean, they got Jordan Luplow up there for a TB. I freaking bet. Maeda's at 26.5 fantasy score, Javon.
It's low.
It's a little low. They got Michael A up there for half a hit run RBIs after he delivered last night. W called air, Javon.
Yeah, it's pretty lucky, but we take those.
We take it.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to take anything, like I honestly think Corbin Burnes can get a shove. So I would back him in some form or fashion. But I also do think if we're talking about those little TB squares, first of all, I don't think Michael A. Taylor's heading after you run over there to cash a total base square and then you get a guy for half a hit run RBI. It usually doesn't go too well. But I'll be down back Ryan Jeffers. That'd be my one guy for the half total base square. It's also a little weird. It's also a little weird they have Luplow up. So they usually have him up against the lefty because that's really all that he's in there to hit. So that square's weird, but Ryan Jeffers is probably my preferred one there.
Ryan Jeffers, more than half a TB.
Yeah,
That's what you're taking in this one? Okay.
it is.
Sure. And then you said Corbin Burns backing him maybe on his fantasy score?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to shove. So, I mean, we're not taking a fantasy score or anything. It's just a half total base, so we're taking against him. So, I mean, they can both be true, but I think he pitches a really good game.
Sure. W's. I mean, he's at 40.5 fantasy score. Last game he was cracked. Before that, definitely not good enough to be earning that number of a fantasy score, that high of a number, in my opinion. So, good sign there that it's in the 40s, if you ask me.
Fair.
Yep. All right. We move. Let's keep powering through, ladies and gents. W's. Okay. Let's go to the next game. I believe we're going to Kansas City and Oakland. Sure. Kansas City, Oakland. Yes. And sorry, Goots, I know I told you to zoom in a little bit, but if you can zoom out so we can get the MLs, that'd be a W. There we go. There it is. Let's freaking go, Goots. W's. Royals, we got Reagan's up there. We got Oakland's probably pitching a bullpen game, Javon, here with Martinez starting off. He's been getting shelled whenever he's been going to the game. But I'll tell you what, I kind of like this under in this game. Both games have gone over in the first two games of the series. Total did move up from 7.5 to 9. That could have been because of some pitcher stuff, but I thought that opener at 7.5 was pretty freaking weird and low. We know it's a pitcher's park in the Coliseum. We've seen 2 overs already in this series. Now we got 2 of the worst pitchers going for these teams, and that total opened up that low. Even if it's up to 9 now, and I know it's super juiced to the under. Some places it might be 8.5. I'm liking this under, and the splits are good too, right? Less than 30% of bets on the under, but like 70% of handle when I looked on Bisson earlier on that under. I think it's sharp, it's nasty, and I like it. Thoughts?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think Cole Reagans is going to shove. I think this is the game where I guess I've been on the train a little bit last couple starts, but I think he pitches a really good game today. And A's have been kind of league average against lefties, so it's not like there's any sort of like massive advantage there over the past month or so. But Cole Reagans is, a step beyond a lot of the lefties they've faced. Frankly, they've been getting lucky, a lot of the lefties they've faced in the past handful of weeks here. So I think he pitches a really good game today. And then on the other side, like Adrian Martinez is terrible. Plus the Royals are in, shockingly, what has become now their much better split against righties who fill up the zone quite a bit, or there's no in between with them. I fill up the zone or you're nowhere near it. It's like I think the Royals bats get to them. I took first 5 -0.5. Obviously not because I'm scared of, the A's bullpen or anything, but when you have a bullpen as bad as the Royals on the other side too, it's just a lot of super weird stuff going on that I just want absolutely no part of. So early in the game, Reagan shoves, Adrian Martinez, not good against this lineup. So
maybe first 5 under if you want to get out of the bullpens and having to worry about them.
Yeah, I mean, I never want to take anything relying on the Royals or A's bullpen.
100%. So, yeah, maybe if you want to get nasty here and just back both these starters to be a little bit better than they've been, especially at least Reagan's, right? At least we got a chance with him, I feel like.
Reagan's has been really good.
Yeah, so he'll be fine. The Oakland opener, Martinez, has been getting rocked, but he's only going to go for an inning. So let's just freaking hold our breath. Hope he only gives up 1 in the first, not 3. And we go about our day with that first 5 under. I like that angle. Okay.
Yeah, and I think Martinez might be a little more extended than you think too, which is why I'm leaning more into the Royals. That's why. That's why I'm on that. I think he's going to go a few.
Okay.
But yeah,
Cole Reagan's fantasy score?
Yeah, I mean, I like his fantasy score. I like his strikeouts too. Like, I think he's going to dominate today.
Huh. Which one would you rather take? I'm hearing in chat some rumors, some whispers about an SPR back in Reagan's strikeouts today.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's right on par with that. I would take the fantasy score just because, like, I think he's going to get a quality start in the win. So I'd love to have that on my side, but I 100% don't hate that over 6 strikeouts either.
Sure. Okay. I might pair that fantasy score with that nasty Nerfy in Cobb versus Lorenzen, Philly, and San Fran. Do you like that Nerfy? You think that's nasty?
Maybe. I don't know. On paper, like, I guess with those 2 pitchers, no context, it seems pretty normal. But
right,
if you feel confident about fading the way the series has gone, I can't blame you.
Okay. Is the board telling you anything or showing you anything weird with those 2 pitchers today?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I've kind of gotten my Lorenzen fade out last week, so I'm not dying to go back to that side of it, but
Okay.
I don't hate you for it.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take it. Reagan's more than fantasy score. Cobb and Lorenzen less than half a first inning run allowed. Lorenzen got shelled in his last outing. Cobb is one of the worst pitchers on the road in baseball. I think it's a little weird it's up, but I'm with you. If you just look at the names on paper, right, and think about how they've been in their careers or just the season overall, maybe it's not as weird as I'm thinking. I'm with you. Okay. All right. We move, chat. We move. Have you guys crafted up that two-piece yet? No rush. Got to let it come to you. Let me know. Somebody in chat, take command, step up, be a team captain, give me that two-piece. We need it.
Take command is crazy.
Somebody take command. Espresso Bet's coming in with a sub bang. Let's freaking go, dude. 12 months. What a freaking beast. We got Shamway coming in. Wow. You guys remember that commercial? Super annoying. Sub bang in 19 months. What a beast. W's. Let's get some W's in chat for Wow. Absolutely love it. All right, we move. Well, let's talk about this Giants and Phillies game because would you look at that? It's up next, Javon. Who do you think wins this puppy?
I want probably absolutely nothing to do with this game. Absolutely nothing. I lean the Phillies taking it again because, again, I've gotten my Lorenzen fade out. I think, again, I'm going to target a righty who's any sort of competent against the Giants for the near future with how putrid they've been against them offensively, but I don't want to go to it. I don't want to go to it, but I think it's the Phillies.
Okay. I think I'm with you, man. Squaring up and back in the Phils and Lorenzen after getting absolutely shellacked in his last outing. And maybe there's a reason Cobb has a 6 ERA or almost a 6 ERA on the road. Can't figure it out, right? Okay. Square up with the Phillies. Any Philly squares you potentially want to back here, Javon?
Yeah, not really. Unless I'm strictly backing, I guess Jake Cave is green as ever every time that hit run RBI is up, but the only one I would consider taking is Michael Lorenzen because that's the only reasoning that I would back the Phillies in this game is a bounce back start from him against a really bad offense against right-handed pitching. So that's it. But I don't love taking the Phillies in this game after a blowout and then a walk-off by Trey Turner last night. I'm good.
Yeah. That's super fair. I'm not going to be betting this game either, I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay. Couple hit run RBI squares up for the Giants. Lamont Wade or Conforto. That pretty standard. That doesn't scare you much?
Nah, they usually have a guy or two up for that for sure.
Okay. W's. We move. Bryce Harper red hot. Still not hitting home runs though. Doesn't have his power back. Sad to see. Nothing like seeing a Bryce Harper nuke pace. He's got one of the pretty swings in baseball. Right?
That he does. Yeah.
We need that power back. I have a feeling after a nice little offseason, because they're not going to be in the fucking playoffs long. Nice little offseason. He'll get recovered up, hopefully have a couple months off. Maybe he'll get that power back next year. Baseball's better when Harper's hitting nicks, right? Let's go to Cincy and LA, Javon. Let's talk about your Reds. You got Abbott up there on the bump against Shohei, your head-to-head lineup starting pitcher this week. What do you like in this one?
Yeah, I think it's the Angels, but I'm not going to lay it. No, I'll lay Shohei props, though. The Reds have been pretty atrocious, especially in terms of strikeouts, but against righties in the past, a little, I guess you can say, colder stretch they've been on like the last month or two. It's like we've seen a lot of righties that absolutely dice them up. Like even when things got a little tough for Giolito yesterday, he was still producing whiffs out the ass. I think it's going to be more of the same today, obviously with a better pitcher on the mound or at least better strikeout stuff on the mound. So I think the Reds might strike out 10 times. So I think Abbott is going to pitch well too. Angels have not been fantastic against left-handed pitching either, so I wouldn't be surprised for something a little weird to happen in this game if we get to the Angels bullpen maybe a little earlier than expected with Shohei, but definitely not dying to back the Reds today.
And you think they might be striking out a little bit, huh?
A lot today.
A lot today? Oh, yeah. No. So, yeah, that Shohei 7 strikeouts is catching your eye. Was that at 7.5 a second ago?
Might have been. It's been flopping back and forth.
Oh, my gosh. Of course it gets bumped down after we take it. Are you kidding me?
It'll be all right.
Are you kidding me, dude?
It's going to matter all that much.
I hope not. Well, now it's going to because we talked about it. Can
you
at least admit that Shohei earned run square is weird?
How's it weird?
He hasn't allowed a run in his last 5 starts, has he?
Yes, he has.
Is that chart wrong?
Yeah. Because all the charts for Shohei are like going to show the actual last 5 games he's played, which are not pitching.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
So well, he's had a couple scoreless outings for sure, which one of them was shortened because of the blister thing. But
I mean, he has allowed only 1 run in his last 3 starts.
Yeah, but before that, he gave up 5, 4, and 5.
Okay. So not as red as I thought, but still red recently in his last 3. I still like it, and I still think it's weird they're putting it up. I'm super down. I freaking bet. Ed McKay, number 2. He stinks. He stinks. Look, they can both hit. You can get his strikeouts against the Reds. You love that angle. I'm in on that. But I think he's given up 2 or more runs, and I like the over in this game just in general. Total moving up from 8 to 8.5. I mean, the line's moving only towards LA, maybe not much, but 5 cents. Not much movement there, but the over going from 8.5 to 9. Abbott's got a sub-3 ERA. I know he's been, he's taken a step back recently, but he's still pretty good. Big name arm, probably one of the best arms on the Reds. And then you got Shohei, who's a freaking beast, and that totals at 9, 8.5. Interesting. Yeah. I think we get runs. I do.
Yeah, fair.
Any other Reds squares you want to take or fade?
Not that I want to take, but
have to take.
This never hits. Never hits when it's up because it's the most obvious play on the board every single time.
Man,
never goes over. And now he's up against Shohei, which couldn't be any more obvious. So I know Trent's taken it a few times when it's been on the board and he gets pissed every time it sells. But now it's up against Shohei, which I think is very strange.
So you like Ellie less than strikeouts?
I do. I'm not willing to stick my neck out for it, but
the
fact that it's up is I think pretty telling that it's probably going under.
Okay. I'm with you. Any Angels that you want to back today? Maybe that Andrew Velasquez total base square?
Yeah, I'm good on that one.
You're good on that one?
Yeah, but
okay.
I wouldn't mind backing Mike Trout today, to be honest.
I was going to say backing Trout in the second game.
Yeah, that would be the only one I would consider here. I hate that they really don't have anybody else up other than Andrew Velasquez and the 2 goats, but I definitely would consider tapping into Trout a little bit.
Okay.
The run square.
All right. The run square. Noted. Trout scores his first run this year for the Angels. No, he played earlier. He's just been missing months now. He's been out for 3 months, 4 months?
He's been out a while.
Goodness. Good to see him back, though, just in time for the Angels not to make the playoffs again. Unbelievable.
Yep. There we go.
Unbelievable. Okay. We move. You like that Trout run? Sure.
Yep.
Let's go to Miami and San Diego. People in chat talking about the Padres and Seth Lugo being minus 135 against Sandy, who I think has been better recently. Chad, have we not learned our lesson here? Okay. The Padres stink, and they've been getting line respect all season. If we haven't learned by this point that we still shouldn't be betting them, I don't know what to tell you. I don't. Javon, what are your thoughts on this game, at least when it comes to a side?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not considering the Padres, not because I don't think they have a shot. It's just, I think Sandy's going to pitch well. I think it's going to be, at least from the start, like a similar starting point runs-wise to what we saw yesterday. Like the Marlins scratch a couple early, but not much scoring until we get later in the game-ish. I know we didn't see much of that yesterday either, but I think Sandy pitches pretty well, and I don't think Lugo gets touched up all that much either, but it's not a weird enough line for me to take the Padres. That's to scream at me to take the Padres.
How is this the chat 2-piece? I didn't see anybody talking about this in chat. Maybe I missed it. But you're telling me more than a handful of people in chat said to take Matt Olson today?
Do we co-sign that, chat?
Is this it? Because now I'm seeing this too. Now the judge is in there.
Yeah,
what's going on over here, Trent, Addie's mother? What's going on?
Oh, we're seeing
you guys get back in the lab, chat. We need a new captain. Somebody else step up. I'm not taking that shit.
So we got captain of the chat. Captain of the chat. Yeah.
Somebody step up, okay? Because that's not the entry we're taking. Give me a break.
Yeah, there you go. Kobe said he's live. Kobe can be the coach.
Kobe is team captain. Chat, give Kobe some options. Put your favorite Prize Pick square in chat. Kobe's going to go through them, see what he likes, what he doesn't, what's going to hit, what's not. And he's going to be the team captain here. All right. And no, we're not taking Judge Fantasy. Nice try. Nice try, bub. No chance. No chance. Okay. Javon, let's talk about Prize Picks for the Padres today. Any squares you want to back there? I wouldn't mind taking any on Prize Picks, but I'm definitely not putting my hard-earned money on the Padres NL.
Yeah, I'm pretty good on taking anything in this game on the book or on Prize Picks.
I mean, did you see Manny Machado's at bats last night?
I mean, the whole Padres team just sucks.
They stink.
There's bad.
He struck out his first 3 at bats, and then his last at bat with a man on with 2 outs to end the game. He's putting up these freaking soft swings, and he just does not look right.
Yeah. I mean, the only square I would even consider for this game is maybe Jake Berger, but I would leave it
What
at
about
that.
Seth Lugo? More than 2.5 earned runs allowed. He's been kind of nails recently. Wouldn't mind taking that.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but I'm good in this
Okay.
game, just in general.
All right. And then the only Miami square you said you're thinking about taking was who?
I mean, I always have Soler in the back of my mind when he has to hit run RBI up, but I don't love offense in this series in general. So only what I would consider is Berger, who, I mean, anytime I see a guy go from a half total base, regardless of when it hits or not, half total base to a hit run RBI in a day in the same matchup against the team, that catches my eye.
Okay. Sure. We move. Let's go to Colorado and Tampa. Javon, we've got Gomber up on the bump. We got Savali, your guy, on the bump for the Rays. Give us the Rays report. What do you got?
I like this under, and unlike yesterday where I thought it was kind of just how it played out. You'd get some early runs off Littell, and then you'd be a late burst of Rays runs, which I can't say I expected a 9-run inning or whatever it was, but we got that. Today, I think you're going to get an early burst of a couple Rockies runs, and they keep themselves in this game for a while, and I think it's going to be lower scoring. I mean, after we saw more runs than the total is set at in an inning, and now we see 8.5 down to 8. I am certainly down to get involved with Savali. Like, he's been working out a couple things. He hasn't been fantastic, but I like him in this matchup. Same with Gomber, who is garbage, especially in cores, but the Rays have been even worse against left-handed pitching for a long stretch now. So I don't mind saying this is going to be a little sneaky pitcher's duel in the Trop.
Any Rays you want to fade today potentially on offense? I know that might be tough to hear. But are there any Rays you want to potentially fade? You know this team like the back of your hand. That's why I'm asking you. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's any of these guys I can pick a singular one out to fade necessarily.
All right.
Yeah, that's kind of tough.
What about Rockies? I know that one threw you off a little bit. That one hurt your heart. What about Rockies fades offensively? You willing to fade Blackman or Brendan Rodgers at all, or no?
No, I mean, if I was going to fade the Rockies offense, which I just might, I would rather just back Savali.
You like his fantasy score?
Yeah, I like his fantasy score.
Okay, so that's probably your favorite square in this game.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. W's. Maybe a little bit of a pitcher's duel in this one, a little bit of limited offense. We get an under, Savali pitches well, we get his fantasy score, and we move.
Yeah, that's that'll do it.
Sure. Let's move. Let's go to the next game. Here we go. We've got Toronto and Baltimore, ladies and gents. Kevin Gausman going against, this says Jack Flaherty.
Yeah,
And
it's
I'm
not
also
anymore.
seeing Dean Kramer.
Yeah, it's Dean
Okay.
Kramer now.
Okay, Dean Kramer. The odds are the same, though, I believe. So they just haven't changed the pitcher on there. What do you think about this game as it pertains to his side?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to, at this point, just square up and take a Dean Kramer fade. Obviously, it's a little scary with Kevin Gausman on the mound, who, like, that's my Cy Young personally, but he also has seen this lineup 15,000 times. Like, you have guys like Frazier with 50-plus at-bats against him, not just like this season, but over the course of a couple different seasons. So I think Gausman pitches better than there are certain spots against the Orioles where I like to fade him because I think they're in a good spot lineup-wise to hit him up after seeing him for a while. But Today, I think he pitches all right. Not perfect, but I think Kramer, we've been targeting some kind of regression from him for a while now, and it's hard to say when it happens because sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. I think you get a little taste of that today. So another guy, like, yeah, you're saying in chat, yes, the Jays have also seen Kramer quite a bit, but it's a little different. Like when you're talking about Gausman, like there's a stark difference between the teams and the lineups and even like the individual players who have seen him a lot and the guys who haven't. So seeing Gausman a little time, or a couple times, is a much bigger advantage than seeing Kramer a couple times, in my opinion, and probably in the numbers opinion. But Jays today.
Okay, Jays today. Chat, help out our guy Kobe getting that two-piece together. I need to get my coins back from that atrocious two-piece in the early game. All right, help Kobe out. Prize Picks two-piece. Help Kobe and Hovey craft up a little two-piece for me to get those coins back, okay? No Creamer up on Prize Picks yet, Javon. Not really surprised there. I think it just got announced. So not really much squares to work with there. Any Toronto squares you want to take?
Don't love that, or don't love much there.
Okay.
I would have liked to take Vlad today, but I think there's a reason he's not on Prize Picks today. He has a really good matchup, and that's probably the best, I guess, BVP you're going to find out of anybody on the Jays. I think he has like 4 home runs off of him and 20-something at bats. It's like that's the guy who I would target, but you don't have that luxury. I wouldn't mind taking that under walks for Kevin Gausman, though.
Gausman less than 1.5 walks allowed.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the Wade Wiley special yesterday, less than 1.5 walks smacked. This one's looking pretty green as well recently.
Yeah, when they're green and we take the under, that's when they pay. It's getting cute with a lot of the red ones going over. That's bit us in the ass a little bit. So down to take that.
Well, pretty crazy to say, but that might be my favorite square available in this game right now too. So I think we roll with that. You lean Toronto on the ML. You think Gausman pitches pretty well. You think Creamer gets rocked up a little bit. Maybe we try to fade Creamer if they put his squares up later. But for now, we roll with this.
100%. If it makes you feel any better too, is his 2 starts against the Orioles this season. He's had 2 walks in both of those.
Oh, yeah. I can get behind that. That's a weird square. I'm in.
Yeah.
Say no more. W's. Yep, Shohei got bumped down. I know. I'm in piss, Austin. It's already red. I know. We move. Okay. Let's go to Washington and New York, chat. Okay. Let me fill you in on something. You might not know this, but the Yankees suck. Okay. They've lost 9 games in a row. The last time they've lost 10 games in a row, Javon, was before World War I, back in 1913. Okay. And yeah, I did Google when was World War I. Okay. If you guys know that, and if I'm supposed to have that memorized, maybe that's on me. Okay. But it actually started in 1914, the year after the Yankees lost 10 games the last time. Okay. Unbelievable. They are poverty. Now, I will say, Javon, and we'll go back to the odds and take a peep at them. I mean, the Yankees opening up at minus 160 in this game is pretty nuts, if you ask me. And I'm not saying I want to take them. But what I am saying is I don't want to take the Nats on the ML today. I don't. That's a sketchy opener with one of the worst pitchers, if not the worst pitcher in baseball right now, starting for the Yankees, in Severino, who is literally Patrick Corbin of this season. That sketches me out. Now, it is the Yankees against the Nats. Maybe I'm wrong. Talk me off of it and get me back on the Nats. Get me back locked in.
Well, you forget the one thing that the Yankees do, not just like not poorly, but they do really well, is hit lefties. So, I mean, that's baked into both the opener and I guess where the line is sitting right now, too. Like, that's one of the reasons why it's not weird to me, because, I mean, everybody knows that. It's also the Nationals against the Yankees, so I have no problems with the line. But I'm going right back to the team total, saying screw it. They're scoring runs. I mean, it was minus 105 yesterday. It's minus 140 today for a reason. Even when you're facing a righty, which I already kind of explained matchup wise why I like them a little bit or like it a lot. That's against Severino today, and I think I'm going to go back to the same exact things that yesterday. So I'm in it.
Okay. Mackenzie Gore in his last outing, maybe the best he's looked. Unfortunately, his start got cut short, had a little blister on his hand. He said it'd be fixed by his next start. I will say, though, Javon, that was the second time this season he's had to come out of a game early because of a blister. I don't see how that's going to start recovering or healing better or faster at this point in the season. So that sketches me out a little bit. But we do have Hunter Harvey and Finnegan at the back end of that bullpen. So if McKenzie can stay in there, give us 6 freaking good innings, okay? Because we know he's not giving us 7 or 8. He never really does, okay? 6 good innings. You know, it's going to be sketchy there for an inning probably or 2 in the middle there before we pass the ball off to Harvey in the 8th. But if we can get through there, and the good thing is we have to face this poverty Yankees offense, it's literally dead. It looks like they don't even want to be at the park, right? McKenzie will do his job if he's healthy, okay? I'm not worried about that. Is there any way to back him or back the Nats on Prize Picks?
You know what I'm going to say?
You're going to say go back to Lane Thomas, don't ever think it?
Yep. Yep.
The hit run RBI?
Yep.
When's the last time you've seen Lane Thomas hit run RBI up against a righty?
Exactly.
Okay. That's what I thought. That's what I feared most, but I love to hear it. I'll be honest with you. What about McKenzie? He doesn't have much up. He's got strikeouts and hits. You think he gets his Ks? He's a strikeout demon, man.
I definitely don't want to back him against the Yankees. I'll tell you that much, which is part of the reason why I don't think the line is that weird, but also why I'm isolating the team total. Like yesterday, I thought they were going to win, and we liked runs or meeting in the middle there. Now I'm strictly taking a stance on the team total because I don't like backing Mackenzie Gore against this Yankees offense, but it's the one thing they do well. So I'm good on backing him, but 100% in on backing the Nats bats again.
Okay. W's. Goots, do me a favor. Go ahead and type in Yankees, and let's go ahead and take a peep at Aaron Judge. Let's take a look. He's up there for fantasy score once again, Javon. Are we fading him?
I'm not fading. I'm not fading anybody on the Yankees today. Can't do it.
Dude.
I honestly kind of want to back Bader Bonds.
No.
I do.
With the turtleneck on and everything?
Yes, with the turtleneck on and everything.
Judge Thomas Square. Ooh. B. Bauman loading winners. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm biased, so I'm going to take Judge less than fantasy score, but maybe the chat stays off that one today.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, you like Harrison Bonds more than 1.5 hits runs RBIs?
Yep.
Okay. All right. W's, we move. Chat. How crazy is that the Yankees stink this bad and they've lost 9 in a row and nobody's talking about it enough? You guys need to all go to your friends today, hit up your betting group chat, say, hey, do you guys know the Yankees have lost 9 in a row? This is crazy. Let the people know because they're not talking about it enough. All right? Yankees get slurped when they're winning. Everyone loves them. But when they're bad, I need to hear more hate for the Yanks. Okay, chat, we got to be better. Come on. And yeah, Bader might go yard today. Okay, sure.
Just mine.
Let's move on. LA and Cleveland. Javon, we've got Clayton Kershaw, my head-to-head lineup starting pitcher for today. I think he throws a gem today. I will say a little bit weird that total's up from 8.5 or 8 to 8.5, but we saw plenty of runs yesterday too. I think Kershaw dominates against this Guardians offense. Not ever thinking it here. Give me LA minus 1.5. Gun in my head if I have to bet something.
Agreed. I mean, I talk about fading Xavier Curry at this point like it's my job the last couple of weeks. So definitely going to continue to do it against the Dodgers.
Okay. Minus 1.5?
Yep. Back to that too.
Any Dodgers squares you want to back today?
I mean, I know there's going to be one that you want to back for sure. David Peralta.
Yeah, Peralta TVs. Yep. Add that to my card. Goots, take a peep at that history real quick. Click on Peralta Square. Yeah, that's a red out gob if I've ever seen one. That's a red out gob. Go ahead and add that one to my card. I'm in. What else?
I mean, they got Muncy up there too. It's almost just as red.
Sure, 2-for-1 spash. Add Muncy to the card as well. A little 2-for-1 special.
Yep.
I'd rather take Peralta if we had to pick one. But, sometimes 2's better than 1, Javon.
Yeah. Some people would agree.
Okay. Anything else? You're pulling squares out of your ass here that I like. Any other ones you like?
Well, ones that I like, you're not going to like. I'm just taking Mookie.
Dude.
Yeah.
2.5 hits, runs, RBIs?
Yep.
Squaring up and taking them?
Yep.
Mookie is so cracked. Him. Who else are your goats that you've been squaring up with and taking? Mookie. Who else?
Mookie, J-Rod, Bobby Witt, the big three right now.
Three. Those are your big three. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like anytime. Like I certainly am never considering fading those guys right now. I don't have to take them every day. Nobody has to, but
right.
I am not fading them. Thinking about it for a second. And if anybody says they're taking them just because they feel like taking them, I can't blame you in the slightest.
Okay. Any Guardians players you want to fade today? Maybe Oscar?
Maybe, honestly. The guys who have been – did he go yard yesterday? Yeah. I mean, those guys, kind of the middling guys, they go hit a nuke or have a legacy game the day before, and then they put up the next day, like Spencer Torkelson yesterday, 4 for 5 with a nuke, and then they put him up for hits on RBI. Shocking. He went over. Could be another Oscar situation.
I'm with it. Give me the less than 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs for our guy Oscar Gonzalez. I'm in. Love it. Okay. Let's move. Let's groove. Let's go to the Mets in Atlanta. We got 3 more games left, folks. Only 2 on the board, though. Maybe we missed 1. We'll get to it, though. Let's go to Mets in Atlanta here. We've got Morton and Quintana. We got a total at 10. Everyone was on the over yesterday. The under hit. Any chance you want to go back to it?
I wouldn't mind it. I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
I feel really good about the Mets bats right now. And even, I don't know, yesterday you can exclude that or not, but showed like ridiculous flashes in the last couple of weeks. And against Charlie Morton, like I think in the same vein as like I backed Charlie Morton against the Yankees for strikeouts because they suck against the curveball. Mets also suck against the curveball. So the strikeouts are going to be there, but I do think they touch them up a little bit. So I wouldn't be shocked to see some more runs in this game.
Okay, give me runs. How can we target this on Prize Picks?
Well, I assume you would feel better backing certain Mets bats than Braves bats.
Than all the freaking goats on the Braves. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, square up with Pete for me probably.
Okay.
It's my goat in that game. Plus, I mean, really another guy who's very obviously not a goat, but he is on a ridiculous stretch now that I have no problem backing is DJ Stewart again.
Sheesh.
He's on a ridiculous tear. And for guys like that, you want to ride that wave. And I'm perfectly fine doing that.
Over a half TB?
Yeah.
What about Jonathan Aruz? More than half a TB?
Yeah, that's a weird square for sure. Tell you that much. Don't see that all that often.
If he plays, I'll be taking that. 100%.
Yeah, I figured you would. I don't hate you for it.
Sure. Any way you want to fade Morton today on his fantasy score?
I don't feel great about fading Morton because, like I said, the Mets are bad against curveballs. So, like,
okay,
even if he has a tough start, he could go out there and get 8 Ks. That's what concerns me.
Okay. That's fair. Who's running screen? They need to look up teams. Yes. So, Goots, you can just search the team and then all the players will come up for that game. That's probably a better way to do it. WChat. Love it. All right, let's move. Let's go to Boston and Houston. Chris Sale and Urquidy on the bump, Javon? Sure. I kind of like the under in this game, and I really don't know why. It's so nasty. Totals down from 9 to 8.5. Not really like Chris Sale or Urquidy have been anything special this season when they've even been pitching. They've been hurt more often. Thoughts on this nasty under?
I don't hate it. I have trouble going to it after yesterday for sure. But I kind of like the Astros here, which I guess from a Urquidy perspective, like I think he pitches pretty decently, but also the Astros have been really tough against lefties. They demolish them. They're also really patient. So for Chris Sale, like, yeah, if he has his A stuff, he's going to be a problem for a lot of teams. But if he also doesn't have full command of the strike zone against the Astros, he ain't making it through the 4th inning. So I wouldn't be shocked to see us get that today. And I do like the Astros situationally. Not one that I necessarily love with how the first 2 games have played out, but I definitely think Sale is going to have some trouble.
Okay. So maybe go with the Astros on the ML?
Yeah, that's what I would lean there for sure.
Okay, sure. Any Prize Pick squares you want to back on the Astros? Any weirdos up today? Let's take a peek.
Let's take a peep. Not that much up today for them.
Say the word and I'll take it, though. Just say the word.
Say the word.
Say the word and I'll take Altuve run.
He just might be crossing the plate, man.
Is he crossing the plate today or what, Javon?
He just might be crossing the plate.
That's probably the square I'd want to take on Houston.
Yeah, that would be the square I'd take, if anything, for sure.
Okay. And then what about Boston? Any Sox?
Oh, no Sox that I love.
Okay. That's fair. We move, ladies and gents. Okay. Is there a second Cincinnati-LA game tonight, too? A little doubleheader two-piece?
Yeah, that we know absolutely nothing about right now, other than
Cool.
I think Detmers is going. I don't know if Kennedy is confirmed yet for the Reds, but
that's what I'm seeing right now. Any
It's kind
take
of a
on that
wash.
if that's the matchup?
I mean, I am certainly not backing the Reds unless something crazy happens. I don't know.
Okay.
Good. I don't want to bet anything in that game.
Okay. Chat, we move. All right, we're going to pivot. We got a ton of prize pick squares we like that we just crafted up, and we're going to craft up an A team and B team this afternoon for you guys, so stay posted on our Twitter there. And plenty of plays we just crafted up as well. We'll get the squad ride going in a little bit, but for now, we got to pivot and talk some football. All right, Javon, we're going to do a little Pac-12 preview. Before we do, though, all right, I want to show you guys this cool feature on the 4for4 subscription here. Pretty cool, chat. They got a do's and don'ts tool, and I'm not going to show you the whole thing. We don't want to spoil it because this is pretty freaking dope. But this is one of the million tools on this subscription, and I didn't do a good enough job of emphasizing it earlier. It tells you who, if you're in PPR, non-PPR, whatever, you set all the bases at the top, who and who not to take in your fantasy football draft. I thought this was pretty cool. And you can kind of edit your roster too. So it's got a bunch of notes for you to read over before your draft. Very, very cool feature. Honestly, very useful. I read through it today, and I've got some good ammo going into my drafts next week. Okay. A bunch of tools on this chat. Check it out. All right. If you got, 2 QB leagues, weird leagues like that, this is exactly what you need to figure out how the hell to build your team and not come in last place. All right. We'll put the link in chats. Use our discount codes. Book it for a discount on the first month. We got drafts coming up. Like I said, guys, check it out. There's a bazillion features on that for DFS, for betting, for freaking fantasy football. The whole 9 yards. There's a bazillion things on there. You get a lot for your $30 a month, and it's discounted with our code. Okay, ladies and gents, at least check it out for me. Click on the link. See if it's something you use and that can benefit you for your draft and for betting this NFL season. Okay, let's move. Let's talk about the Pac-12, Javon. The Pac-12 is dead, but not this season. The Pac-12 has one more year of fun. All right, and chat, this is a sad, sad day. I don't know if you've come to the realization yet, but there's not going to be any more late night Pac-12, elite matchups at midnight or 11 p.m. that you can bet on the East Coast and stay up all night on the weekends and frickin' bet. These teams are going to stink. This conference might not even be a thing come 2 years from now. But this year, Javon, we've got some pretty good squads in the Pac-12. Not only that, we've got some pretty damn good quarterbacks. All right, listen to some of these big-time names. And, it might be the most stacked QB conference, at least going into this season. Okay, they got Bo Nix at Oregon. Obviously, DJ, we know he went to Oregon State. Very interested to see how that plays out. Everybody's backing him. I don't know. Caleb Williams at USC. He's going to be a top pick, maybe the top pick in this coming NFL draft. We've got Cameron Rising coming back for one more season. He's still so underrated at Utah. And we got Michael Penix, Javon, your guy, coming back at Washington. Stacked QB conference. Who do you think is the best QB in this conference?
I mean, it's Caleb Williams. You can't really say anything else until proven otherwise, especially like in that system. He's fantastic. So I don't think that's an arguable point, but I mean, you have plenty of 2A or at least 1A, 1B, 1C between a couple of the guys there, whether it's Bo Nix, Michael Penix, some of those guys, but there's a lot of QB talent in this conference for sure.
Yeah. And don't worry, Lieutenant Goose. We're going to talk about him in a minute, okay? Because, I did leave off some of those other names, and there's a lot of good QBs who've transferred into that division and other teams as well. But I wanted to give you guys the big names, okay? Let's talk about who's winning this damn Pac-12 championship game, Javon. Looking at these odds, obviously USC is the favorite. Oregon's right behind them with Bo Nix. Wouldn't be surprised if Oregon makes some noise and wins this conference when nobody expects it. I feel like everyone is all on USC this season.
Yeah, 100%.
Don't blame them though, right?
Can't at all. No.
Can't blame them one bit. Who do you think wins this damn championship?
So I think it's USC. Obviously not going to the grave with that, but I think you'll be able to see a lot of improvements from USC, like especially defensively. They made big additions through the portal and through little scheme adjustments that I think are going to play out pretty positively for them. But again, like when you look at the Pac-12 and all of the talent, especially like on the offensive side, it's going to be very dependent for me on what we see in these matchups in the regular season. That kind of gave me the indicator, especially because it's in all likelihood going to be a rematch in the championship game. So I'm interested to see how it plays out the first game, and I'll probably be pretty reactive to that when it comes to the Pac-12 championship game. But, you know, early on, I'm not fading USC in the Pac-12.
Okay, that's fair. So you think they run away with it, they do their jobs, and they end up winning the Pac-12 championship game?
Yeah, I wouldn't say they run away with it. I think it's going to be a game difference max between a couple of those teams there. But
sure.
It's probably,
you got any futures or angles in this conference that you're trying to target preseason?
Oh, you know I do. First of the big three, Cal over their win total is at 5 flats. This is like going to be a sneaky team in the Pac-12 that I really like because their offense is going to join everybody else at the top of the conference. It's not going to be as good as USC, Oregon, and Washington, of course, but it's going to be one of those sneaky dynamic offenses. Sam Jackson coming in, who is baby Trevon Boykin, which I will stand on. He's coming from TCU. Really pissed that he didn't stay at TCU because I think I would be backing them a lot more this year if he had the keys. But he's going to be great. They have Jaden Ott at running back, fantastic. Jeremiah Hunter, all the T's for a really dynamic offense. And they have the GOAT, Jake Sturdivant, coming back to do his OC duties, who he was at Cal for one season, and it was the Davis Webb season where they were super dynamic, and Davis Webb was top 10 every single passing metric in college football. He's got a good bloodline too, coaching Mansell. He coached Kyler Murray when he was there. A lot of really great quarterbacks. So he's like kind of a sneaky QB whisperer in the college football space. So I think they're going to be absolutely fantastic offensively, and see a couple upsets happening for them too. We always see that the weird game between a couple of Pac-12 teams where nobody really has a shot. Nobody thinks they have a shot, and they always pull it out against like the Oregons, the USCs, the Washingtons. I think one of those is going to involve Cal this season, but it's just because their offense is going to be so dynamic. They're going to stay in, and they were really scrappy last year. Lost a bunch of one-score games. They were scrappy on the road against Notre Dame. Came back from a big deficit to lose a one-score game to USC. Oregon, they kept close some of the game as well. Washington, that was a scary one that they almost lost. They held Penix without a touchdown for the entire first half. It was 6-0 at halftime, which was unheard of when they were in that run. So, like, I think they're going to be great this year. I think they're making a bowl game.
You worried about their defense?
No, because, I mean, they're not going to win their games with their defense anyway. It's the Pac-12.
It's going to look like they got Aaron Rodgers in there, QB?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, Sam Jackson is fantastic, and the fact that somebody else is even like in the conversation to start for Cal is fantastic. He's a 7th grade class.
W Daniel. What the?
W Daniel. Yeah. But yeah, they're going to have a really dynamic offense this year. Very fun with that.
You want to go through their schedule real quick?
Yeah, because I mean, this is one of the more difficult, I guess, sells because it's really me trusting them to beat a lot of the better teams, which realistically, I mean, I'm trying to get myself to that Auburn game. I think that's going to be a big one. They have a shot, but there's a reason where I got why I stood on the 5 line, which is pretty widely available now. But that North Texas game over Central, I think that's going to be back and forth. I think it's going to be a scary game initially, to be honest with you. Win that one, beat Idaho. I think they beat for sure California or Arizona State in that game at home. They're a little bit of a project. I think they certainly have a pulse in the Auburn game. That's another conversation. Tough stretch here, which realistically I think they get 1. But nobody's going to agree to that because people don't know ball, especially if you get into that Utah game where it's tough to win on the road. But this is a really weird situation with Utah because Cam Rising isn't fully healthy. He probably will be by then. But I've certainly have questions as far as Utah as a team. So I think they get one out of the big games. Like they're going to upset a ranked team. They come down to the abyss of their schedule, and I think they beat Washington State. I think they beat Stanford. Stanford's going to be the worst team in the conference. I think by a pretty wide margin. They're horrendous. And UCLA, another toss-up down there. So like I think the 5 is pretty sharp that it's going to be there, but I'm banking on an upset to get yourself to 6.
Scroll back up to that Auburn game, Goots, because I want to hear Javon say it again. Did you say you think that Cal might beat Auburn on September 9th?
100%. I think they do. And I didn't even I'm not accounting for that as a part of like the guaranteed win section, obviously, because you can't, but I'm not high on that Auburn team this year. And this is another weird game where you have an a middling SEC team going to a late night Pac-12 game on the road in week 2. This is a sneaky spot. So watch out for Cal in this game, especially I'm hoping that I see the things that I want to see out of the offense in the North Texas game, which I'm not going to act like North Texas is this defense that you can gauge everything off of. But against the defense where they should run over them, at least offensively, I want to see some dynamic, explosive plays from them. And if they do, I'm going to feel pretty good about that Auburn game.
Okay. Chat saying SEC trash is better than Pac-12 trash. Pac-12 is still good this year, though, boys. One more year, right? We're not saying it's better than the SEC, but what he is saying is Auburn is not that guy this season, and Cal might be.
Yeah, I got Peyton Thorne coming out to start.
That's going to be tough.
Remember that name from Northwestern, but
it's going to be tough.
Not high on that, especially, Auburn is going to be like super physical and more, just overall better at athletes at pretty much every level, at least physicality-wise, defensively than Cal. But if you're getting yourself into a shootout and this Cal offense is rolling and you have Peyton Thorne to kind of bail you out in week 2 when they haven't really had time to kind of adjust around the offense, watch out.
Watch out, chat, for September 9th, week 2 of the college football season. Javon with the hot take, maybe the hottest take we've heard this year on BTL. Cal knocking off Auburn, coming to their home, week 2. All right.
And to Berkeley.
I cannot wait for that one.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what,
we'll be both.
I will 1,000% be taking the points on Cal in that game. That's for sure. That's for sure. I'm with it. All right, let me go over my favorite future in this division, this conference. You ready?
Let's hear it.
Sure. Don't get too excited. All right, we move. Arizona. Let's talk about Arizona. Let's talk about the Wildcats, okay? Arizona in Jed Fish's first season 2 years ago, they were just the worst. And that happens a lot when you bring in a new coach. Nobody's going there. Everyone's leaving. I've seen it with my Virginia Tech Hokies. They're dog shit, all right? But Arizona's 1 year ahead in their rebuild of the Hokies, and the Hokies are looking pretty damn good for the following season. What I'm trying to say is I still believe in Jed Fish. I think he can get this team rolling, and we already saw improvements last season when he got them to 5-7. And let's not forget at the end of the year, too, Javon, this team was very competitive. And they even beat UCLA and their rival Arizona State in the last 3 weeks of the season. That UCLA win was big. That was a ranked team at the time. Big-time win. Yeah. They finished the season pretty damn strong. And, Chad, let's not let our recency bias get to us here. This Arizona football program has been pretty damn good for a while, and they're going to come back, all right? I like their over 5 wins this season. We could pull up their schedule. But Chad's been talking about Jalen DeLoria this whole time, saying I didn't give him any respect when I listed off all those QBs. I'd say he's the next best one out of that list, the next tier. I really like this kid, Javon, and I like what I saw out of him last season. The Hawaiian kid, absolute beast, transferred in 2 years ago, not from University of Hawaii, but he's Hawaiian. Like this kid. I like his swag. He's going to be a freaking beast this season and take another step up. He looked pretty damn good last year. So they got their QB. They've got a decent schedule. It starts out pretty freaking easy, and we'll go through it right now. North Arizona, that's a win. The Mississippi State game, I'm not going to give them a win, Javon, but I wouldn't be surprised if they make that game weird early on in the year when Mississippi State's still getting their shit together too. Thoughts on that game?
I would love it. It feels like a pretty somewhat similar spot to the Auburn game. I just hate that it's on the road. That's going to be – that'll be tough. But I think you're right in the fact that they'll make that game interesting no matter what.
Yep, 100%. So they already have one win. We'll give them a loss there at Mississippi State. We'll give them a win against UTEP. I'm going to give them a win at Stanford. Like you said, Stanford's going to be so freaking bad this season, guys.
Yep.
Washington will give them a loss. USC will give them a loss. But I'm telling you guys, in one of those two games, especially the former when they're home against Washington, they're going to make that game weird. That's going to be a shootout at home, and it could get freaking weird. So I'm leaving that there. I do think they definitely lose to USC. They play Washington State, who beat them in the second to last game last year, Javon. But you want to talk about a revenge narrative here? Jalen DeLoria, he came from Washington State 2 years ago. And last year they beat him. You don't think he's going to want to go there, play a place he's very comfortable with, playing there 2 seasons and beat them after last year? I think he will. Have a little extra motivation there. I think they might get that game done. I'll give them a win there against Washington State. That's 4 already. Oregon State at home. That's a game I think they can win too, but I'll give them a loss, although I do think they win that game. I do. But for chat's sake, and you guys not thinking I'm biased here, I'll give them a loss there, and they're still at 4. Then they play UCLA, who they beat last year. I'm not very high on UCLA. I think that's a freaking win. I think they win that game again at home. That's 5 wins, and they're going to beat Colorado. That's 6. All right? They got 2 tough games to end the season. They're not going to beat Utah. Cam Rising will be healthy then, and Utah will be, rolling at that point, in my opinion. They'll lose that one. But they might win that game against Arizona State, too, at the end of the season. That's a coin flip, in my opinion, as well. So give me the over wins here, over 5 wins at -120. This was -110 a couple weeks ago. The odds are moving. The juice is moving in our favor. And Arizona is going to look much better this season. I think they get to a bowl game. They get at least 6 wins. Love this future in the Pac-12.
Yeah, I'm with you. Schedule lines up really, really well for Arizona. They're what I was considering too.
Let's fricking go. Music to my ears. Music to my ears. You want to talk about your future, though? Your Oregon State future?
I don't have an Oregon State future.
I thought you had an Oregon State under future, or were you just talking about that a couple weeks ago?
I have Oklahoma State under.
I know you got Oklahoma State, but I thought we were talking about fading DJ when he made the move to transfer here. Are you still on that same wavelength or no?
Not necessarily. It's because I think a lot of their team is going to be able to make up for his deficiencies, and it's also another schedule that does not scare me in the slightest.
Okay.
So, Goots, you can pull up their schedule. Yeah, here it is. We start off with 3 games that I think are pretty cut and dry for them. SDSU may make that a little tough, but in Corvallis, I think they'll be fine. Utah, which this is probably going to be, I don't know, maybe the first or second Cam Rising game back in Corvallis too. I think that's going to be a really weird spot for Utah, depending on the Cam Rising status, like I was talking about. So, they could certainly be in business for that game. Cal game's getting weird. I'm standing on that, but we can give them a win for that for conversation's sake. UCLA, another team where I think they can take that game, especially at home. Then you go to Arizona, where I think that game, honestly, I think they lose. I'm with you there. Then we have a stretch here where, they beat Colorado, beat Stanford for sure, pull off one of those upsets in the last 2 games. So, it's not one that I love to fade. I think you're going to be right around that 8.5 win total, which is super just the under. So 8, I think is a very reasonable number for them. But also I saw something the other day, earlier yesterday, which I think is interesting. On DraftKings, they have head-to-head win totals between teams. And it makes perfect sense because the lines are nearly identical between Oregon State and Utah, but it's like an earn run prop, what they have in that category. Because you can tell it's very cherry picked what they put up specifically and what lines they're offering. So the fact that Utah and Oregon State and that are a pick 'em still, yes, it makes sense with the odds, but that's what they're choosing to put up out of pretty much the entire Pac-12. That's pretty interesting to me because, Utah, even with the Cam Rising situation, they're a bona fide team, is going to find their way to, go over wins or find their way in the Pac-12 conference championship discussion at the end of the day. And Oregon State's kind of the new hot name on the block after an ending to last year that inspired some confidence, but now you have DJ coming in, which is obviously going to be a much different look. In fact, that's a pick 'em, and they're putting that up and offering that. That's interesting to me. It should be probably towards the bottom. It's -115 both ways.
Don't be afraid to use that control F, Goots. It'll be your friend. Don't be afraid to control F that puppy. All right. W's.
Yeah, that
Is it
one
up there?
should be. There we go. There it is.
There it is. I freaking bet. Let's go, boys. That is kind of weird. All right, I'm off fading that team. Okay.
Yeah, which I mean that could be good for them or not good for Utah. It's just, well, I guess fading Utah makes a little more sense. Not that I'm doing it, but in the frame of mind that Cam Rising, he certainly looks like he's not playing week 1 because that line against Florida is now down to 4.5, and it's probably going to continue to move, which was at 10.5, I believe. But we'll see. We'll see what the effects of that injury are long term for their season.
Okay. We will indeed be seeing, chat. We will be seeing. Did you guys get a freaking two-piece going? Kobe, you're congratulating Goods over here. He's getting better every day, sure. But we need you in the lab, brother. And we got Kerry Carpenter in the hole, sure. Do we have the chat two-piece? I need to know. I need my coins back from earlier. All right, let me know. We got about 9 minutes, okay? We're going to start building the squad ride, chat. Kobe said they gave up. I bet. Come on now. See, that's exactly my point, chat. All right? You can't be hating there, and then you can't even craft up your own. Okay? So give me a two-piece or not, whatever. Either way, we're going to find another one to smack, and we'll get the A team and B team out. One of those two will hit. All right, boys? Let's build the squad ride, Javon. How do you want to target the Nats today, man? Team total?
You know exactly how I want to do it. Yep.
Oh, Nats team total. I freaking bet. Okay. I'm in. I'm in. All right. You want to just take Judge less than a home run? Square up for that?
Yeah.
Maybe put 20 units on it?
Maybe parlay the two.
Okay. What else? Probably want to pick some of these later games. Anything in – I mean, we could go over in the Mets-Atlanta game.
Really hate that I like a little more in the early games.
I know, it stinks.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. Yeah, what are we thinking, man? I don't think the Rays score much either.
Okay, good. I know, that's kind of the vibe I got. That's why I asked you if you wanted to fade any of your guys, but you didn't even have it in you.
Well, it's tough because we got, like, the Rays' problem is when they're cold, like they're hitting the ball, it's also in scoring position. That's where they struggle. So, like, Yandy could start the game off with the double again and then get stranded because nobody else knows how to hit against lefties.
Okay.
That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting today.
Okay. And what's that Nats team total at? 3.5?
3.5. Yeah, it's juicy, though.
3.5 juiced.
Which I think is all that telling.
Okay. Kind of a moose slate today. Yeah, it is. But we got football tomorrow, guys. Don't you worry. We just got to get to tomorrow. Okay, boys? And we got DJ Lean coming in with a sub bang as well. W's. Love the heart. Love it. Nats team total over 3.5. We've got Rockies Tampa under 7.5. What else, Javon? Dodgers minus 1.5.
I mean, I think that's hitting, and I might end up on that myself. Just when you put that in the you put that in the poll, you might as well crown it.
Okay, noted. Let's try to find some others then if we can. Maybe the Mets Atlanta over or no?
I don't have a problem with that over.
Okay, Mets Atlanta over. Over 10, sure.
And Goose, man, I like the Royals. That one, that's like borderline because it starts in like an hour and a half. That's a little soon. A little soon.
Yelich run, Julio fantasy score. Also, can Goots pull up Trent's tweet for his slip? Yes, he can. Is that the two-piece, chat? Is it Yelich run and Julio fantasy score? Is that what we're rolling with today? Let me know before I lock it in. Yelich run, which I don't love, but I'm taking it. And we've got Julio fantasy score, which I don't love, but I'm taking it. Okay. Let me know if that's the two-piece, chats, before I lock it in. For now, let's lock in this freaking squad round. Okay? It looks like here's a little midday sweat from Trent. We'll zoom in here, give you guys a better view. He's got Brewers ML, Mariners ML, Angels ML, three-piece parlay. These men will lead us to victory. He's got Yelich fantasy score, Burns more than strikeouts, J-Rod fantasy score, Kirby strikeouts, Shohei strikeouts, and I'm assuming Trout run. Hit run RBIs. Okay, sure.
Yeah, there we go.
What's up, LC? Need some winners today. You've been red hot. Need a square from LC today, please. Please, please, please. We need it like heck. Javon, right now we've got Nats team total over 3.5, Rockies Tampa under 7.5, Dodgers minus 1.5, Mets Atlanta over 10. Do we want to put Boston Houston under in there?
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Either that or Toronto ML.
Could be down with a little Toronto ML before I go to that under.
Okay, W's. Chat, 5 plays, 5 winners. All right, we're going to get the poll up now. Nats team total over. We got the Rockies and Tampa under 7.5. Dodgers minus 1.5. New York, Atlanta over 10. And Toronto ML. Get your votes in. The poll is up in the Twitch chat. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Get your votes in. Get them up. All right. Today's slate is moose shit. All right. But we got to make do. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Jack, get those votes in.
Yeah, got to do what we can, man.
And shocker, everyone wants the Dodgers tonight, huh? I freaking bet.
Crown them.
I don't know if Chad has the cojones to go back to the Nats because that's our best play today, I think, on the board, at least for the later games. But I don't know if they have the cojones to take it, Javon. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, kind of soft. I'm not gonna lie.
Poking the bear with that or what?
You might be bugging the bear.
I'm poking the chat.
Don't mind if you're fucking the bear.
I don't think they have the cojones to take the Nats team total after last night. I don't think they want to do it. I don't think they can. We'll see. We'll see, Javon. You know what this is called? This is called pulling the strings on the back end here and working the chat like a puppet, getting those votes in. Look at that. Look at that
I'm
ball
shocked.
chat.
I'm shocked that the Mets over isn't getting love. I thought that was going to be pretty popular.
Same.
Which I like it.
Same. Meat glued. It worked. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did, TK. 2-piece. I need to see my guy. Kobe. Do you have the 2-piece?
Final decisions here.
Final decisions, last call. All right. Is it that Yelich run J-Rod fantasy score? Because if it is, I'm taking it, but it's not hitting. Okay. I think chat wants a 2-piece freaking squad ride. I don't know if we're getting that. 2-piece. Chat, get your votes in. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. No one's helping me. It's kind of crazy. All right, Kobe. I'm going to lock that 2-piece in.
I trust Kobe. I'm going to lock that too.
I'm going to lock that 2-piece in. It ain't hitting, but I'm going to take it because I'm trusting chat.
No, it's hidden. It's hidden.
Yelich, more than half a run. J-Rod, more than 9.5 fantasy score. Talk about taking some goats.
Oh, that's a goat.
Judge no home run, Dodgers ML. Parlay.
Could be free.
Chat wants a 2-piece. Well, there you have it, boys. I just gave it to you. All right. Yelich run. J-Rod fantasy. Get your votes in. Hurry up. 1 minute left in the poll. Go, 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 go. Hurry up. Get your votes in. Go, go, go. Tailing Kobe on Kobe Day. It's only right. Yes, sir, Devin. Couldn't have said it any better. If it's cake, it's fine. Crab owes me a shirt. That's facts. 100%.
There you go.
100%. Nats team total getting some late life here. Get your votes in. Hurry up. Go, go, go. And shocker, it's the Dodgers minus 1.5. I freaking bet. All right.
Yeah,
chat, do me a favor. All right. Number 1, stick around for the surge stream. All right. We got Trent taking over here in a minute. Number 2, do me a favor. Check out the 4for4 guide. Click on the link. See if it's something you guys would use for the upcoming NFL season when it comes to DFS, betting, and your fantasy draft. They've got so much stuff on there. Just give it a peep. And if you want to buy it for a month and check it out, use promo code BOOKIT. You get a discount. All right, ladies and gents, give it a peep. Squad ride tonight. Dodgers minus 1.5. What could go wrong? What could go wrong?
What could?
Unbelievable. Chat, we'll see you tomorrow. All right. Same time, same place. We'll be